Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. Brand new week, happy Monday. Today, something we haven't seen for a while. I'm going to be doing the next 5 stages, stages 7 to 11 of the Deagostini Collectibles release, and build the Ayrton Senna Lotus 97T. So because it has been a while, let me just show you what we've actually created already. As you can see here, we've done this all metal helmet where the visor does come up and down. I'll leave that there for now. We've also done one of the wheels looking like that. This is what we're building onto today. We've already done this section here with the bulkhead in there looking like that. And we've also done the rear tow looking like that here. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link down here to the Deagostini Collectibles website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So, we're going to start with stage 7. Here's the magazine. Let's flick through that. We're going to be doing the nose cone front section and gearbox assembly. So a few things in here. They are providing a screwdriver and a hex wrench for us in this stage. And as you can see, we are actually going to be working on the part I just showed you to give a bit more rigidity. I hate saying that word. Just to this section. Then we're putting the gear shift in. So it's looking just like that. So there you go. There's everything you get in here. And as you can see, we got a screwdriver and we do so have a hex wrench there as well. So the first thing I want to do is bring over what we created here in the last pack, and I'm going to turn this upside down. And I want this metal nose cone section looking just like that. And that's going to go, because it's upside down, I'm putting it in upside down. It's going to go into this section just here like this. Now I'm going to be putting a GP screw into this side and a HP screw into this side here. And I do think the best way to start this would be to put the back one in first, because I can get to that, and that's the HP screw. So let's get that in, that will line that up. And then the advantage with the GP screw is that you can see it's got a hex head on it, so I can put my hex head spanner all the way through here, load it up just like that, and get this in the hole. Perfect. And then tighten that one up as well. Excellent. Then we're just going to be doing exactly the same in the other side. So again, a normal HP screw just for the back. That will line everything up. It's good that there's a little notch in there, as you can see, to get my screwdriver in. And then this time I've loaded the GP screw up onto the hex head there. And I'll get this in this side here. This is amazingly difficult to do because you only can use the smaller side of the hex head here. But it's a case of just doing it a little tiny bit at a time. It's amazing how one screw is taking 5 minutes to put in. And there we go. That's in. So it's looking like that. That's nice and rigid in there as well. We can actually put this whole bit to one side now. And I want this platform just here. And I'm going to be putting the cockpit fire extinguisher knob just into the end over here. I'm just going to see how this fits. This looks to be a very tight fit, which it is. So I'm not going to put glue in there, but that's that in place. I'm going to be putting the gear shift into the gear shift mounting here. It's going to go in just like that. It's held in from the larger hole side, this side here. That's an FP screw. Long screw, this one. But we get that in there. Excellent. So now that can move in there like that. Then I've got the command rod bracket, which is this tiny piece here, which is going to go on the end of this one. Again, I'm checking the fit, which again is a nice tight fit in there, so I'm not going to glue that in. And then this is going to be going into the holes next to that fire extinguisher knob, with the bracket we just put on closest to that, and push everything in. So it's fitting flush like that. As you can see, that can move. All I need then is the gear shift command rod, which is going into the hole just at the back here. And that is just held in place here with a DP screw just from the underside. So into this hole just here. That will keep that from moving, and that is all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 8, you're going to love this stage. Check this out. So this is the magazine, and we've got a massive bulk of bodywork with some extra bits to go on here and some screws. So this is what it looks like. So I will open that up for you so we can see in a minute. We are actually going to be putting this into the car as well. So by the end, it's looking like that. Now, as I said, a big stage. Look at this. Let's get this open. Once again, I have got some decals here, which I'll probably put on the car at the end, but it looks just like that. But this is what that bodywork looks like. That looks good, doesn't it? This is all metal. This is really heavy. But I can keep that to one side because I need this bag of bits first. So this is the anti-roll adjusting command housing. That was a handful, wasn't it? We do have a little knob here that's going to be on a selector into these points here. I mean, that's just dictating straight away what the detail's like. Now, it does have a hole in one side, so this is going to go kind of like that in there. And we do have a rod, which looks like this, which is going in the other side. So I'm going to put that in the hole here. Put the selector onto the end of that rod and push them together. So they look like that. They are tight together now. So when I put that back, as you can see, the rod moves with this here. Excellent. Bringing over the bodywork of the car, probably best on the top camera here. This is just going to go into the inside section just here. So if I get this in first, and hopefully, let me try and find a camera you can see this on. There we go, that side camera there. It's going to go in just like that, but it's held in from the other side here. As you can see, the 2 holes that this is going to be with IP screws. And these are flange screws. So I'll get them in. That's one. And this one's 2. I had no idea this was that detailed, but again, hopefully you can see that from there. Got a little adjuster in there. Okay, next to that adjuster, we've got this tiny metal sticker which says Lotus, and it's sort of like the VIN plate on it. I'm going to take the adhesive off and put this next to that adjuster. Again, I'll get this in and show you what it looks like. And hopefully you can see that. That's in just like that. Now where we got this adjuster on this side here, on the other side, we're going to be putting this that we created in the last stage. Now this has got a locating lug just there. So you're going to use that to locate this to where it goes. And it fits in just like that there. Once again, held in with IP screws. So one that side and one this side just here. And then bringing over this section here, and once again I am going to be turning this upside down. I'm going to be having this front nose section here fitting over the nose section that we've just got there. So I'm going to be picking this section up. It's going to drop in kind of like this, as you can see, and then it fits flat in there like that. Whew, that was fun. That's going to be held in just at the front of this nose section with BM screws. You do want to make sure that this section here is facing the right direction. So it's up this way. And I'll get these screws in. That's 1 in the centre and just 2 either side. Once again, all these metal pieces, I am using oil just to help me out get these in. Excellent. And to hold all the sides in here, we've got KP screws going along each side here and here. It's going to take 5 KP screws each side. So I'm going to get all of these in and show you what that looks like. Some of these you're putting in at an angle, so you do need to be very careful and slow how you put these in. This is where the smaller screwdriver that they provide come in handy, because it will enable you to actually screw that in like this. So that's 5 in that side. It's going to do the other side now. Very hard to get that one in here. Very hard. But I've managed it. The last one here, you can use the gap just in the side here. That'll ensure that goes all the way in. Excellent. So now that is all in place, looking like that. Looks good, doesn't it? We're not finished there though. Turn it over. Underneath, we're going to be putting this bulkhead, which has got the steering rack on the other side, in with BM screws. So line that up. This is the only loose part I've got on the car now. So once this is in, that's going to be quite rigid. Put one in the other side. Excellent. As you can see, nice and rigid in there now. And then all of these points here and here, which are holding these in place, I'm going to hold on with EM flange screws. There's 2 each side. As you can see, that's now rigid in there. Let's do the same on the other side. That's in place, and that massive stage is all there is to do in that stage. And of course, I did miss something out, so I'm going to have to take all of that out. But this section here needs to go into this section at the side on the other side here. So I'm going to take this out and screw this into place. Boy, I'm stupid sometimes, but there you go. That's it. That definitely is all there is to do in that stage. So that was a really big stage. I'm not sure we've got big stages like that for the rest of this pack. By the look of it, lots of details we may have. We're doing the cockpit, bulkhead and steering column assembly. So we're getting all of this together here. By the end of it, we are putting this into the vehicle as well. So this is the bulkhead for the cockpit. This is metal. We're going to be putting 2 brackets into this. So I want it this way round. And the brackets are going to go into these square areas here. So one's going in this way. And one's going in that way there. They're held in with an LP screw on this side and a DM screw on this side. But on the LP screw side, on the back of the screw, we're going to have this little piece here. So let me get an LP screw out. We'll do that one first. Now this is a flange screw here. But it's going to go in like this. And on the other side, we've got this section here, which I'm going to screw in. So I'll get that screw in there gently. Just like that, just to hold it for a second. Then I'm going to use pliers on the other side to stop it moving. And then make that screw nice and tight. Now I haven't put it in too tight, because I still need to get this bracket in. But now that's in. That's how that should look with the bracket on. The other one's a lot easier because we haven't got anything to put on the other side. So it's just this bracket in here with a DM screw. Now in the hole next to the bracket I just put in, we've got this little nipple to go in, which is going to be a really tight fit. So it's not going to need gluing. But again, I am going to use my pliers to help push this in. That was really hard, but there we go. That's in looking like that. There is so much detail here. Got a keyhole pattern on this one here. It's just going to be going into the slot down the bottom here. And again, make sure that sits in perfectly like that. And that's held in with a DP screw from the other side. And I'll get that in there nice and tight. Turn it over. And on the other side, we've got what they call the manometers, which are going to go into these points just like this here. And again, that's going to be held in from the other side with DP screws. Lots of detail. And then on top of this, we've got the actual meters to put in. I'm going to get these out. I'm guessing these are going to be a really tight fit as well. But I do want to make sure they are the right way round. So I'm just checking what the dials look like. Now the little dial here, it's hard to see with the red on it, is going into the top pin. So you want to make sure it's around the right way. Get that in. And the other dial is going to be underneath it. And that dial doesn't have any red on it at all, but it should look like that. Can't believe how much there is to do in this stage. We've got this bracket to put in then, which is going into the back this way round. And that's going to be held in from the other side here with DM screws. I think I'll use my bigger screwdriver for this. Takes 2 of these. And then we've got 2 pipes here. The first pipe is going to go onto the nipple that we just put in here. And again, this is going to be a tough one to get in. And the second one is coming off this pipe just here. Just like that. So bring the car over and turn it upside down. And the 2 brackets that we put in here and here, probably best on the top camera, are going to be going onto the lugs that we've got just down the bottom there. So we just need to manipulate this around so it can slot into there. Sort of fits it at an angle there to get that to fit straight. If you look at the anti-roll bar adjustment cable, which we had here, we're going to be taking the pipe that we had from this top side here, wrapping it round the side and putting it into a pin, which is just on the end of that. So let me just get this in, and it's probably best to show you how this looks. I do want to make sure that's between the bulkhead there. So I am just going to wrap that cable round like that. The other cable is just going to be loose for the minute, but I do want to put this into place now. So I'm going to secure that into the main body with CM screws. I found it easy to actually remove one of the dials here. I'll put that back on afterwards just so I can get this in. And that's in nice and tight there. I'll just replace this dial. And there we go, that dial is now back in. And this bulkhead is in as well. Now we need the steering pinion shaft, which we had earlier on in the last pack. That's going to be going through the hole here and resting on the rack. So let's get that through. Probably best on the top camera, this one. So that's engaged on there now. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to be linking the flat side of this to the other side of this here. I'm just going to turn it so it's facing up for me, because this is going to be going through the hole, very fiddly this is, here. And engaging these two parts together, hopefully on the top camera you can see that like this. It's actually going to be held in with 2 BM screws. So, because this is fiddly, I'm going to get this in and I will show you what this looks like. There we go, I've got one in. That was handy. Get that nice and tight quickly. And here's the second one going in to make that nice and tight. Now that's all there is to do in that stage, but I am going to get some oil now. And I'm going to put that all over this system here. Making sure that the rack and the pinion here is completely coated. So look, I can easily move that with my hands here. If I show you on the top camera, see, and these move. Perfect. That's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 10, massive pack this one. Here's the magazine. Oh, some simple bits by the look of it. We're going to be doing the front suspension assembly. So a couple of bits on here, and then a couple of pipes to put in place as well. So again, all the bits you're looking at here are metal. So I'm going to be putting one of these brackets here between the points here and here. I'm just trying to figure out which way round they go. They go this way round. So one's going on here, like this. And the other one will be going on the other side, just like that there. Now these are held in from the other side with these DM screws here. So I'll get these in and I'll show you what this looks like. So there you go. That's in like that. And then I've got a couple of pipes to put in. And there's 2 nipples to put these in just here. Again, I will use my tweezers to help me get that in. And one just at the other side here. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So in the last stage of this absolutely massive pack, I'm guessing we're going to be continuing on with the suspension here. Yep, the front suspension assembly, all these pieces here. We're going to be adding this to this plate that we've been working on, so by the end, it's looking just like that. So the first thing I need is the front left suspension fork, which looks like that. It is stamped with an L there. And then I need the pull rod, which is stamped with an L as well, just on the tip there. This is metal. That's great. Okay, this is going to go in this way, just into this point here, held in with a GM screw from this side. Now these GM screws are long screws, so I'm going to line up the holes. I have got oil on it, and then I'll get this in. Just like this. Make sure it goes through all the way. Perfect. So that's in. Bring over what we were working on before. And this is going to be going on to the point just here like that. Now we're going to hold it in first off with 2 BM screws just to hold these ends down. I'm leaving this BM screw for a second and I'll show you why. Let's get these 2 BM in at the base first. That's going to hold that into place. And the reason we haven't put the third one in is because I need this suspension dampener here. This is metal, looks like that. It has got a keyhole pattern at the end. That's going to go in here like that. And now I can put that BP screw in from the other side. Just like this here. You get that nice and tight. And there we go. That's that one in place. I am going to put a bit of glue on these nipples for the pipes here, because as you just saw, this one fell out. That'll stop that happening. The other one's quite tight. That one was loose though. Okay, so now you've seen how we've done that. I'm going to do exactly the same thing, just for the other side. So this is going to go in here like that, and a GM screw once again, just through this side, and then once again, this is going to be going into this position just here, held in with the BM screws. And then just like last time, the suspension dampener on top just for that last BM screw. The way I do this is I just start it off like this. Then I hold the top of this with my pliers. It is metal, we're not going to mark this. And then get that nice and tight. Excellent. So that's both of those in. All that's left to do, a couple of bits here. We're going to be putting these springs just over the top here like this. And then I'm going to be inserting these D-shaped patterns into the holes to keep that into place. So one in this side there. And then one just in the other side here. Excellent. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. There was so much to do in that pack, but look, we've got this in place, looking like that. That's looking really good, isn't it? And then obviously we've been working on the suspension on the others, and we did the steering. We connected the steering up as well. But it is a massive piece. I didn't realise there was so much to do in one pack. But if you want to get this for yourself, once again, just head over to the Deagostini Collectibles website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.